Welcome back to the deep dive. This time, we're going to be tackling this whole idea of teenage success. You've given us some really interesting stuff to kind of pick apart, including this book, Secrets of Successful Teens. It's by Adam Koo and Gary Lee. I'm excited to break down their strategies, so our listeners can walk away with some actual advice they can use.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really it's a pretty comprehensive book. I think what's really great about this book is that it doesn't just focus on, grades.
Right.
It covers the mindset and habits that contribute to, what they consider a well-rounded teenage experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do they even begin with something as big as, success?
Well, they start with the power of belief.
Okay.
And they actually argue that our beliefs, even the negative ones, can be like chains holding us back from our full potential.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. It's easy to get stuck in those negative thought patterns.
Yeah.
But how do you break free from that?
Well, they believe that beliefs can be changed, and they actually share visualization techniques
Okay.
that are used by Olympic athletes.
Wow.
Imagine applying that level of mental focus to your daily life.
That's powerful stuff. I'm already seeing how this can apply to so many areas.
Hey.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and then they introduce this formula: E plus C equals R.
What's that?
Event plus choice equals result.
Okay.
So it emphasizes that even when we're facing difficult events,
Right.
you still have the power to choose your response.
I love that. That resonates with me. It's about taking responsibility even when things feel completely out of your control.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture for, the listener,
Yeah.
it means that even when you're faced with challenges like, demanding parents or, peer pressure, you have that power to choose your response and really shape your results.
That's a great takeaway for our listeners. Now, I noticed the book spends a lot of time on goals.
Mhm.
What's their approach there?
Well, they advocate for setting what they call SMAD goals.
SMAD.
SMD, yeah.
Okay.
So these are goals that are specific, measurable, actionable, and with a deadline.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really about setting yourself up for success,
Okay.
not just vague aspirations.
So using SMAD goals, you learn to set objectives you can actually achieve. Progress feels real. I like
Yep.
that. But they don't just talk about fluffy goals, right? There's a section about money, too.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
They break down the cost of different lifestyles,
Yeah.
showing how the choices you make today impact your financial freedom tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
It's a reality check for teens,
Mhm.
emphasizing that every decision matters.
Let's talk about something that I think everybody struggles with, and that is friendships.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a good friend, according to the book?
Well, they compare negative friends to crabs in a bucket pulling each other down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. It really makes you think about who you surround yourself with.
Right.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. They also reveal a pretty surprising insight. When you're scared of being rejected by someone, that person is often just as scared.
That's reassuring.
Right.
It makes approaching new people feel a lot less intimidating,
For sure.
You're both equally scared.
Yeah. And then they give some practical tips like, how to start conversations,
Okay.
give genuine compliments,
Yeah,
and how to say no to negative peer pressure.
I like that. So it's like a crash course in building healthy social skills. Now, no conversation about teenage success would be complete without talking about studying.
Hmm.
Does the book offer any unique strategies there?
Oh, they do. They reveal the SMART study formula.
Okay.
It's a 6-step process used by top students
Oh, wow.
to get, those A grades with less effort.
All right, I'm curious. I want to hear more about the SMART study formula. What's the first step?
The first step is to preview.
Okay.
So before you even crack open the book, you take a few minutes to scan the chapter. It's kind of like watching a movie trailer. You get a preview, and then it's easier to follow along when you're actually, in class.
That's clever. So you're not going in completely blind.
Right.
Okay, what's next?
The next step is to search for keywords.
Okay.
So it's about identifying the most important information without needing to memorize everything.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yeah.
I'm all for working smarter, not harder. What else do they suggest?
Well, the next step is to create whole brain notes.
Whole brain notes.
Yeah.
What's that?
So it's notes that activate both sides of your brain through visuals,
Oh,
colors,
interesting.
and creative elements.
So making studying less of a chore and more engaging,
Yeah.
I can see how that would make the information stick better.
Right. And one technique that really stands out
Yeah.
is the key idea tree.
Key idea tree. Okay.
So this is where you create these visual and colorful notes that make learning more fun and memorable.
That sounds a lot more appealing than my old method of just highlighting everything. But there's more to the SMART study formula, right?
Oh, there is. They go into unleashing your memory potential,
Okay.
mastering application, and revising for high retention.
So it's not just about note-taking, but about truly understanding and applying the information.
Exactly. And they even offer exercises for memory techniques and emphasize the power of visualization and association.
I like that they're not just telling you to study, but giving you the tools to make it effective.
Absolutely. And then they're really big on spaced repetition, suggesting you revise information shortly after you learn it, then again a week later,
Right.
a month later, and finally the day before the exam.
That makes sense. It's a more strategic way to prepare, rather than cramming everything in at the last minute.
Right. And they also talk about setting up a dedicated study space,
Mm.
free of distractions, to really maximize your focus and productivity.
So we've covered beliefs, goals, friendships, and even studying. Feels like we're building a solid foundation here for teenage success. But I'm curious, where do they go from here?
Well, they believe that to be truly happy and successful, you have to start by loving yourself.
Okay.
So they dedicate a whole section to the importance of self-esteem.
Self-esteem, that feels huge.
It is.
Why is that so important for success?
Well, they argue that people who don't like themselves often set low standards and hold themselves back. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't believe in yourself, you're less likely to go after your dreams.
I wonder if visualizing success is really enough. Don't you have to, like, put in the work, too?
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Visualization is just one tool.
Right.
Action is crucial.
Yeah.
And a healthy self-esteem can give you that confidence to take those actions.
So how do they suggest boosting self-esteem? What are some of the strategies they offer?
Well, they start with acceptance.
Okay.
So accepting your strengths, your weaknesses, your background, and simply who you are.
I see.
It's about embracing your individuality,
Right.
not striving for some impossible perfection.
That's a powerful message, especially for teens who are often bombarded with those unrealistic expectations.
Right. They also encourage focusing on your strength, practicing honesty with yourself,
Yeah.
and setting realistic promises,
Okay.
almost like building a strong foundation within yourself before you go out and conquer the world.
I love that analogy. So loving yourself is key, but how does that actually translate into success in the real world?
Well, they believe that when you love yourself, you're more likely to set high goals, take risks, and bounce back from setbacks.
Yeah.
It gives you that inner confidence to go after what you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm guessing they have some inspiring examples of people who embody this.
They do. They highlight people like Oprah Winfrey,
Oh, wow.
who overcame incredible challenges
Right.
to achieve amazing things.
Oprah. Now that's a success story.
Yeah.
But she did face some pretty tough obstacles early on.
She did.
Yeah.
And her story illustrates how focusing on your strengths and loving yourself, even when it's hard, can lead to incredible outcomes.
That's truly inspiring. Okay, so we've got self-love as a foundation,
Mm-hmm.
but what about those big dreams and aspirations?
Yeah.
How does the book approach setting ambitious goals?
Well, they believe the most successful people started by dreaming big
Okay.
and setting goals that seemed impossible to others.
That's exciting, but how do you go from dreaming big to actually, making it happen?
Well, they bring back the power of those SMAD goals.
Right.
Remember, specific, measurable, actionable, and with the deadline.
Right. I can see how that framework would be really helpful for tackling, like, big goals.
Right. They encourage teens to set goals in all areas of life. Academics, personal growth, finances.
Right.
It's about having a roadmap for your future.
And it sounds like they don't shy away from the nitty-gritty details. They even include exercises to help calculate the cost of different lifestyles.
They do. It's not just about dreaming.
Right.
It's about putting in the work and making smart choices today to create the future you want.
So it's about planning and putting in the work.
Mm.
But let's be honest, everyone faces setbacks.
Yes.
How does the book approach failure?
Well, they have a refreshing perspective. They say there are no failures, only learning experiences.
I love that. So it's about embracing those setbacks as opportunities to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They believe that as long as you're moving towards your goals, you're on the right track.
So it's about having that growth mindset, seeing challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks.
Absolutely. And they share some incredible stories of people who overcame huge obstacles to achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
Like Dr. William Tan.
Okay.
He's a world-famous wheelchair marathoner
Wow.
and brain scientist who was paralyzed from the waist down at the age of 2.
Wow. That's incredible. What an amazing example of like determination. It shows how powerful belief and a never give up attitude can be.
He's a perfect example.
Yeah.
He dreamed of becoming a doctor and an Olympic athlete.
Wow.
And despite facing countless challenges, he achieved both of those goals.
His story is truly inspiring.
Yeah.
It reinforces the idea that anything is possible if you set your mind to it and are willing to put in the effort. So we've covered self-belief, setting goals,
Yeah.
taking action, and even embracing failure. What's next on our deep dive?
Well, the book dives into another important aspect of teenage success,
Okay.
and that is friendships.
Friendships.
They argue that friendships can either make or break you.
Okay, so choosing your friends wisely is crucial.
Right.
What advice do they offer on building healthy and supportive friendships?
Well, they start with something very simple. Smiling.
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 Okay.
They say that smiling makes you more approachable
Okay.
and gives off positive energy that draws people to you.
Makes sense. It's like an invitation to connect.
Right.
Yeah.
They also emphasize the importance of truly listening
Okay.
to what others have to say
Yeah.
and showing genuine interest.
Right.
People can always tell when you're not really listening,
Right.
so make eye contact and
Yeah.
engage with the conversation.
So being present and engaged in those conversations is key. What else do they suggest?
They talk about giving sincere compliments
Okay.
and showing appreciation for others.
Yeah.
It's about making people feel good about themselves
Right.
and building positive connections.
That's a great point. Everyone appreciates feeling valued and appreciated.
Yes. And of course, they address the challenge of negative peer pressure,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting the importance of learning to say no
Right.
and standing up for what you believe in,
Yeah.
even when it's tough.
That's huge. It's about having the courage to be yourself, even when faced with that pressure to conform.
Absolutely. And they provide some great strategies for navigating those tricky social situations.
So building healthy friendships is all about being positive, supportive, and true to yourself.
Precisely.
Mm.
And the book emphasizes that surrounding yourself with the right people can have a huge impact
Right.
on your happiness
Yeah.
and your success.
Okay, we've talked about friends, but what about parents? Let's be real, those relationships can be complicated.
They can.
Yeah. How does Secrets of Successful Teens approach navigating that whole parent-teen dynamic?
Well, the book dives headfirst into that topic.
Good.
They acknowledge that parent-teen relationships can be challenging with all the nagging and conflicts and misunderstandings. They even go as far to say that one of the biggest challenges teens face is learning to get along with their parents.
It's true. Sometimes it feels like they're speaking a different language.
It does.
But the book doesn't just dwell on the difficulties, does it?
It doesn't. It offers a really interesting perspective. The authors suggest that teens can actually teach their parents how to treat them.
Hold on, teach their parents?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, it all comes down to changing your own behavior and understanding your parents' perspective.
So it's about bridging that gap between how teens see the world and how parents see it.
Exactly. The book emphasizes the importance of understanding where your parents are coming from.
So taking a step back and trying to see things from their perspective, I can see how that would lead to less conflict.
Right. And they highlight all the worries and responsibilities that parents carry. Financial pressures,
Right.
concerns about their children's future. They explain that a lot of the things parents do that drive teens crazy, like nagging about homework or setting curfews, are actually motivated by love and concern.
Okay, that makes sense. It's easy to forget that they have a whole lot going on, too.
It is.
It's all about perspective.
Right. And the book argues that when teens understand their parents' perspective, it can lead to more empathy and better communication.
So less arguing and more understanding. I like it. What strategies do they suggest for achieving this?
Well, they start with a simple act of appreciation.
Okay.
Expressing gratitude for the things your parents do for you, even the small things, can make a big difference.
So saying thank you more often.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they suggest being proactive,
Okay.
doing things without being told, like helping out around the house or taking initiative with your schoolwork.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about showing your parents that you're responsible and capable.
Exactly. They argue that when you show responsibility and independence,
Yeah.
it builds trust and makes your parents more likely to give you more freedom.
It's like proving that you're capable of handling things on your own.
Right. And of course, communication is key.
Yeah.
Instead of arguing or getting defensive when there's a disagreement,
Yeah.
they suggest calmly explaining your perspective and listening to your parents' side of the story.
So having a respectful and mature conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good advice for any relationship.
It is.
It's not just parent-teen dynamics.
Yeah, and just like with everything else,
Yeah.
they emphasize the importance of following through on your commitments.
Right.
If you say you're going to do something, actually do it.
So it all comes down to building trust
Mm-hmm.
and showing your parents that you're reliable.
Turning parents into partners is about communication, understanding, and building trust. And the book provides a roadmap for making that happen. It's like having a toolkit
Yeah.
for navigating those sometimes rocky parent-teen relationships.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
But it's worth the work, right?
Oh, absolutely. The book emphasizes that while it may not always be easy, putting in the effort to build a strong relationship with your parents can pay off in countless ways.
I think that's a great place to pause for now.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground, from self-belief to friendships to even navigating those tricky parent-teen dynamics. But there's still so much more to unpack. Join us next time as we continue our deep dive into secrets of successful teens. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're continuing our exploration of secrets of successful teens, and I'm excited to see what other gems we uncover.
Yeah, there's a lot more to discuss. Last time, we touched on the importance of self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
The book actually goes a step further and explores the power of the subconscious mind.
Okay, the subconscious mind. That sounds a bit mysterious. What's so powerful about it?
Well, they explain that our subconscious mind is like this giant storehouse
Okay.
of beliefs, memories, and habits
Right.
that's constantly working behind the scenes and influencing our thoughts and actions.
So it's like an autopilot running in the background,
Mhm.
shaping our behaviors even when we're not aware of it.
Exactly. And they argue that if we want to create lasting change in our lives,
Right.
we need to tap into the power of our subconscious.
I'm intrigued. How do we actually do that? How do we access and influence our subconscious mind?
Well, the book suggests several techniques, including affirmations, visualization, and even hypnosis.
Affirmations. Isn't that just repeating positive statements to yourself?
Yeah.
How can that possibly have such a profound impact?
It might sound simple,
Yeah.
but they explain that when you repeat affirmations consistently, especially with strong emotion and belief, you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind.
So it's like planting those positive seeds deep within yourself and nurturing them until they take root and flourish.
That's a great way to put it. They also emphasize the power of setting goals
Okay.
with a strong emotional connection.
So it's not just about saying, I want to get good grades,
Right.
but really feeling the desire and
Yes.
visualizing yourself achieving that goal.
Precisely. They believe that when you combine clear goals with strong emotions, you create this powerful force that can propel you towards success.
It's about aligning your head and your heart, getting your thoughts and feelings working together towards a common goal.
Exactly. But there's another side to this.
Okay.
The book also stresses the importance of eliminating negative self-talk.
You mean those inner critic voices that tell you you're not good enough or that you'll fail? Everyone struggles with those, right?
Absolutely. And they can be so destructive.
Mhm.
The book argues that those negative thoughts can actually sabotage your efforts even if you're consciously working towards your goals.
It's like having a self-destruct button hidden somewhere in your mind, ready to go off at any moment.
It can definitely feel that way. But thankfully,
Yeah.
the book provides strategies for identifying and challenging those negative thoughts and replacing them with more positive and empowering beliefs.
So it's about rewiring your brain for success, replacing those negative tapes with positive affirmations.
Precisely. And it's not just about what's happening inside your head.
Okay.
They also talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with positive influences.
That makes sense. It's about creating a supportive environment that encourages growth and positive thinking.
Exactly. Like having friends
Right.
who support your goals and role models who inspire you. They believe that the people we spend time with have a huge impact on our thoughts, our beliefs, and ultimately our success.
I've heard it said that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Mm-hmm.
So choosing your company wisely is crucial.
Absolutely. The book encourages teens to be mindful of the company they keep and to seek out relationships that uplift and empower them.
It's about creating a supportive ecosystem for growth, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and your dreams.
Exactly. Now, shifting gears a bit, the book also offers some great insights into time management.
Time management. I think we could all use a little help in that department, especially teens
I agree.
who are juggling school, extracurriculars, and social lives. What strategies do they suggest?
Well, they start with the importance of creating a schedule.
So planning out your day or week in advance.
Mm,
I've tried that before, but I always end up deviating from the plan.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
But it's not about being rigid. They suggest using a planner or calendar to block out time for the things that you need to do and want to do, from studying, extracurricular activities, socializing, and even relaxation.
So it's about having a visual representation of how you're spending your time, which can help you identify areas where you might be wasting time or where you need to allocate more time to certain activities.
Exactly. It's also about prioritizing tasks, figuring out the most important things that need to get done, and focusing on those first.
I can see how that would be helpful, especially when you feel overwhelmed. Are there any specific tools they recommend for prioritizing?
They suggest a system called the Eisenhower Matrix, which helps categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance.
Interesting. So you're basically sorting your to-do list into different categories to help you focus on what truly matters.
Exactly. And just as important as prioritizing is eliminating distractions.
Like turning off your phone notifications and finding a quiet study space. That can be tough in today's hyper-connected world.
I agree. But the book emphasizes that distractions can be major time wasters and that minimizing them can significantly boost your productivity. It's about creating that focused environment to help you get things done.
So it's like creating a mental sanctuary where you can concentrate without being bombarded by notifications and interruptions.
Exactly. Now, this might seem counterintuitive, but they also stress the importance of taking breaks.
Wait, breaks?
Yeah.
I thought we were trying to be more productive.
It might seem counterproductive, but they explain that taking regular breaks can actually improve focus and concentration. It's like giving your brain a chance to recharge and come back to the task refreshed.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like working out. You wouldn't try to lift weights for hours without stopping to rest.
Exactly. They suggest taking a 5 to 10 minute break every hour or so to stretch, move around, or simply clear your head.
So it's about working smarter, not just harder.
Exactly. And they also talk about being flexible and adapting your schedule as needed.
So it's not about being a slave to your calendar, but using it as a tool to guide you
Right.
and adjusting as needed.
Precisely. Time management is an ongoing process. Life throws curveballs, and you need to be able to adapt and adjust to stay on track.
That's great advice. Flexibility is definitely a valuable skill to cultivate. Are there any other time management gems they offer?
Yes. They also highlight the importance of learning to say no.
Say no. How does that relate to time management?
Well, we often overcommit ourselves saying yes to too many things,
Right.
which leaves us feeling overwhelmed and stretched thin.
Right. It's like trying to juggle too many balls at once. Eventually, you're going to drop some.
Exactly. They encourage teens to be mindful of their commitments and to politely decline requests that don't align with their goals or priorities.
So it's about setting boundaries
Mm-hmm.
and protecting your time, making sure you're not overextending yourself.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And they also talk about the importance of delegating tasks when possible.
So if there's something someone else can handle, let them do it, freeing up your time to focus on the things that only you can do.
Exactly. They believe delegation can be a powerful tool for maximizing your time and energy.
Okay, so we've covered scheduling, prioritizing, eliminating distractions, taking breaks, being flexible, saying no, and delegating.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a comprehensive approach to time management.
It is. And the book emphasizes that mastering these skills can give you a sense of control over your time and help you achieve more of what's important to you.
It's about becoming the master of your own schedule rather than letting time control you.
Yes.
I love that. Now, what other areas do they explore?
Well, they dedicate a whole chapter to the power of reading.
Reading. I mean, I know it's important for learning, but are they suggesting something more than just reading textbooks?
Exactly. They argue that reading is more than just acquiring knowledge. It's about expanding your mind, developing your imagination, and even boosting your intelligence.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's not just about memorizing facts, but about exploring new ideas and perspectives.
Precisely. They believe that reading exposes you to new worlds, new ways of thinking and new possibilities,
Yeah.
which can broaden your horizons and help you see the world in new
It's
ways.
like traveling to different worlds without ever leaving your chair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're big proponents of reading biographies and autobiographies.
So, learning from the experiences of others, both their successes and their failures.
Precisely. They believe that reading about the lives of successful people can be incredibly insightful and inspiring. It's like having a mentor in a book.
I love that. And it's not just about successful people, right?
Yeah, right. They also encourage teens to read books on personal development and self-improvement,
Okay.
books that can help them grow and evolve as individuals.
So it's about using reading as a tool for personal growth and transformation.
Hmm.
I can see how powerful that can be. But with so many books out there, how do you even choose where to start?
Well, they emphasize choosing books that genuinely interest you, books that align with your passions and make you want to keep turning the pages.
So it's not about forcing yourself to read something you find boring,
Mm-hmm.
but finding those books that spark your curiosity and make you excited to learn.
Exactly. They believe that reading should be a pleasurable experience, and when you're genuinely engaged with the material, you're more likely to learn and retain the information.
Makes sense. So it's about finding those books that speak to you on a personal level. What other tips do they offer for getting the most out of reading?
They encourage making reading a regular part of your routine, setting aside a specific time each day or week for reading, even if it's just for 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
It's about making reading a priority, just like any other important activity.
So instead of scrolling through social media, pick up a book and dive into a new world.
Exactly. And they also encourage taking notes while you read.
So jotting down key ideas, insights, or quotes that resonate with you.
Mhm. It's about making the experience more interactive. Taking notes can help you process the information more deeply and retain it better. It's like having a conversation with the author, highlighting the parts that speak to you the most.
I love that analogy. It makes reading feel much more engaging.
Right.
Is there anything else they suggest?
They also highlight the importance of reflection, taking some time to think about the ideas and concepts and insights presented in the book and how they relate to your own life.
So it's not just about passively absorbing information, but actively engaging with it and making connections to your own experiences and goals.
Exactly. Reading can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and growth.
Okay, so maximizing the power of reading is all about choosing books you enjoy, setting aside dedicated time, taking notes, and reflecting on what you've learned.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes that by making reading a regular habit, you can unlock a world of knowledge, inspiration, and personal growth.
It's like having a secret weapon for success,
Hmm.
one that's readily available to anyone who's willing to pick up a book. I love it. Now, what else is in store for us on this deep dive?
Well, the book also dives into a topic that might not seem very exciting to teens, but it's incredibly important.
Oh,
Financial literacy.
financial literacy. Why is that so crucial for teenagers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not exactly managing large sums of money yet.
That's true. But the authors argue that understanding how money works is essential for success in life,
Right.
regardless of your chosen career path.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's about more than just getting rich. It's about being responsible and making informed decisions about your finances.
Exactly. They believe that financial literacy empowers you to make informed decisions about your money,
Right.
avoid debt, and build a secure financial future.
So it's about setting yourself up for success in the long run, not just in the here and now.
Precisely. And they provide some practical tips for teens to start building their financial knowledge and skills.
Like what? What are some of the financial strategies they suggest?
Well, they start with the importance of budgeting.
So tracking your income and expenses and making a plan for how you're going to spend your money. Isn't that what budgeting apps are for?
They can be helpful,
Yeah.
but even a simple notebook can work.
Okay.
The key is to become aware of your spending habits and make conscious choices about where your money is going.
So it's about taking control of your finances rather than letting your money control you.
Exactly. And speaking of taking control, they also talk about the importance of saving.
So setting aside a portion of your income for future goals,
Mm-hmm.
like college, travel, or a down payment on a house.
Exactly. They suggest setting up a savings account and automating regular transfers so that saving becomes a habit,
Right.
something you do automatically without even thinking about it.
So it's about paying yourself first,
Mhm.
making saving a priority rather than an afterthought.
Exactly. And they don't stop there.
Oh,
They also encourage teens to start learning about investing.
investing? Isn't that something you do when you're older and have more money?
They argue that it's never too early to start learning about investing,
Okay.
and that even small amounts of money can grow significantly over time,
Right.
thanks to the power of compounding.
Interesting. So it's about getting a head start on building wealth.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of investing advice do they offer?
Well, they provide a basic introduction to different types of investments like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds.
So it's about diversifying your portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And they emphasize the importance of doing your research and seeking guidance from a trusted financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
That's a good point. Investing can be risky, so it's important to be informed
Mm-hmm.
and make smart choices.
Absolutely. And they also talk about the importance of being patient and disciplined with your investments.
So not panicking and selling when the market goes down.
Exactly. They believe that long-term investing is the key to building wealth, and that it's important to stay focused on your goals and not get caught up in short-term fluctuations.
So it's about riding out the waves
Mm-hmm.
and staying the course,
Yeah.
trusting in the power of time and compounding to grow your wealth.
Precisely. Financial literacy is all about budgeting, saving, investing wisely,
Right.
being patient, and seeking guidance when needed.
It sounds like a solid foundation for financial success.
It is. And the book emphasizes that developing these skills can give teens a sense of control over their finances
Mm-hmm.
and help them build a solid foundation for a successful future.
It's like having a financial GPS to guide you on your journey to financial freedom.
Exactly. Now, ready to shift gears one last time?
Yes, I am.
The book explores another crucial aspect of teenage success that I think will resonate with you.
I'm all ears. What is it?
They talk about the importance of giving back.
Giving back.
Hmm.
So volunteering and helping others.
Exactly. They argue that while achieving personal success is important, true fulfillment comes from making a positive impact on the world around us.
So it's about using your talents and resources to make a difference, contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Precisely. They believe that giving back not only benefits others, but also enriches our own lives in countless ways.
I can see that. It's about finding a sense of purpose and connection
Hmm.
beyond your own personal goals. But with so many needs in the world, where do you even begin?
Well, they encourage teens to explore their passions and find causes that resonate with them.
So whether it's animal welfare, environmental protection, or supporting the arts, there's something out there for everyone to get involved with.
Exactly. And they suggest volunteering their time, donating to charities, or even starting their own initiatives.
So it's about finding ways to contribute that align with your interests and skills, making it a more meaningful and fulfilling experience.
Exactly. And they emphasize that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
So it's not about grand gestures, but about doing what you can when you can.
Exactly. And they believe that cultivating a spirit of generosity and compassion can not only make the world a better place, but also bring immense joy and fulfillment to our own lives.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into secrets of successful teens.
We really have. We've explored everything from the power of belief and the importance of relationships to goal setting, smart study strategies, and the importance of giving back. It's been quite a journey.
And we're not done yet. There's still more to uncover in this treasure trove of wisdom.
I'm excited to see what else we can learn. Join us for the final part of our deep dive into secrets of successful teens as we wrap up this insightful exploration. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're wrapping up our exploration of secrets of successful teens, and I'm curious to see what final insights we can glean from this treasure trove of advice.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, but there's still a few key points the book highlights that I think will be particularly relevant to you.
I'm all ears. Where do we go from here?
Well, they delve into a fascinating concept they call emotional mastery.
Emotional mastery. What exactly does that mean?
The authors argue that our emotions can either propel us towards our goals or hold us back.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that our emotions have power
Right.
and learning how to harness that power effectively.
That makes sense. So it's not about suppressing our emotions, but understanding them
Right.
and using them to our advantage.
Exactly. They believe that emotions like motivation, confidence, and enthusiasm can really fuel our actions and help us overcome challenges. But they acknowledge that we also experience negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and fear.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's where things can get tricky. It's much easier to ride the wave of positive emotions, but how do you deal with those less desirable feelings?
Well, the book emphasizes that we have more control over our emotions than we might think We just need to learn how to manage them effectively.
That's an empowering thought.
Uh-huh.
But how do we actually gain control over our emotions? Where do we even begin?
They explained that our thoughts directly influence our emotions. What we think shapes how we feel.
So if I'm constantly thinking negative thoughts, I'm more likely to feel negative emotions.
Exactly. And conversely, if you focus on positive thoughts, you're more likely to experience positive emotions.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about creating a more positive mental landscape to support your overall well-being and success.
Precisely. And they introduce some practical techniques
Okay.
to help shift those thought patterns.
Like what kind of tools do they suggest?
They highlight the power of visualization
Okay.
and positive self-talk. It's about creating those positive mental images and speaking to yourself in a kind and supportive way.
So it's about being your own cheerleader, replacing that inner critic with an inner champion.
Exactly. And they even introduce a technique called the memory scramble.
Memory scramble, what's that all about?
It's a fascinating technique that's designed to help change how you feel about negative memories. You visualize the memory, then play it backward, fast forward it, and even add in funny or absurd elements.
Wait, so you're basically rewiring the emotional charge of the memory. That sounds incredibly powerful.
It can be. And they don't just focus on our thoughts, they also delve into the power of body language
Yeah.
in shaping our emotions.
Oh, that's interesting. So how we stand, how we breathe, even our facial expressions can influence how we feel.
Absolutely. They explain that when we change our posture, our breathing, and even our tone of voice, we can actually shift our emotional state,
Wow, it's like hacking your own emotional system.
right? And they even provide simple but powerful exercises to help you practice these techniques and gain more control over your emotional responses.
It sounds like emotional mastery is an essential skill for navigating the ups and downs of life, especially during the teenage years.
It is. The book emphasizes that by mastering these skills, teens can create a more positive and empowered emotional landscape, which can have a huge impact on their overall success.
It's like building emotional resilience, which can help you bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward with confidence and determination.
Exactly. Now, we've explored so many facets of teenage success, the power of belief, the importance of relationships, the magic of goal setting, smart study strategies, even emotional mastery. But there's one final piece the book emphasizes that ties everything together.
Okay, I'm ready for the final piece of the puzzle. What is it?
Action.
Action.
Yep.
It's like that famous quote, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." You can have all the knowledge and strategies in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing will change.
Exactly. The book argues that all the knowledge and strategies we've discussed, they won't make a difference unless you put them into practice. It's about turning those dreams and plans into reality.
So it's about bridging the gap between thinking and doing.
Precisely. They encourage teens to break down their goals into smaller, manageable steps and take consistent action towards achieving them.
It's about building momentum, creating positive habits, and celebrating those small wins along the way.
Exactly. And they emphasize that taking action, even when it's scary or uncomfortable, is the key to unlocking your full potential. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone and embracing the challenge.
I think that's a powerful message for everyone, not just teenagers.
I agree. And the book reminds us that even those who seem like natural winners have often faced setbacks and challenges along the way. Success is rarely a straight line. It's about perseverance and resilience.
It's about learning from your mistakes, getting back up when you fall down, and never giving up on your dreams.
Exactly. They believe that everyone has the potential to achieve great things, but it takes courage, determination, and a willingness to take action.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We've explored so many valuable insights from secrets of successful teens, from the power of belief and the importance of relationships, to the magic of goal setting and the importance of taking action. It's like having a blueprint for building a fulfilling and successful life.
It is. And the best part is, it's never too late to start applying these principles. Whether you're a teen or simply someone who wants to unlock their full potential, these insights can make a huge difference.
So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, Secrets of Successful Teens is definitely worth checking out. It's a treasure trove of wisdom and practical advice that can help you achieve your dreams and create a life you love.
And remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking action. The future is yours to create.
Beautifully said. Until next time, keep diving deep.